Honestly, I'd just be happy wearing the same shirt that's about to pop up. Whoa, what's this? This isn't my Golf R. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Lately, we've touched on where we're at now, given the virus and everything. We've touched on where we're going with YouTube, which together we don't know yet. I'm getting some ideas here and there, but that's not what this video is about. We are I don't want to hear anything about debt or anything like that, because we're closing on our house, and after we close on our house, we're paying the remainder off of our debt, and we're not gonna have anything else to pay off other than the house. So, and the cars, but cars are my passion. So, a big thank you to all the people that can bother me about car payment. Because what happens if I save all the money to pay the car in cash and I die before then? The hell good was it? And what's the point? If I pay 1.99% now versus pay 0% and pay cash in 5 years, I'd rather enjoy the car for 5 years and pay $800 in interest, to be honest. I would, to get it sooner, $800? Yeah. Anyway, again, that's not about money, this video. It's just about changing habits. And we made some changes to our budget. We were penalizing ourselves too much. We weren't able to get what we wanted. We weren't able to do the things we wanted to do, all because we're like, no, we gotta put away money, You can be frugal, you can be cheap, and you can be one of those people that just stack away your money until you're 60, 70 years old. And then, you know, you're so afraid to spend it because you never learned how to spend money. You never learned to really just enjoy yourself with your money. I'm not going to do that to myself. You know, I don't have many habits. I don't know where this shirt came from. I think it was given to me, to be completely honest with you. The jeans I got that I'm wearing now, I got for Christmas about 2 years ago, and I still wear them today. They're super comfortable. No reason for me to go spend, you know, $30, $40 on a pair of jeans every week or every 2 weeks or every month. You know, these are these are comfortable jeans. And I'm in my work clothes so often that these are always clean for me to put on. This is what I really wanted to talk about in this video. My biggest problem that I've had in the past 8 years is having a car. It's my biggest hobby. I don't want to say hobby. It's my biggest passion as far as, you know, what I'm okay to spend money on. I don't want to say I've had a lot of cars. I'm 30 years old. I'll go in order. You know, my first car was a 2002 Ford Focus. I was having tons of issues with that car. I couldn't get it to pass emissions. I was 17 when I got it. 22 when I got rid of it. I was so nuts over that car not passing emissions that I said, screw it, I'm just gonna go buy another car. And then I nearly went and bought a brand new car. Kind of talked myself out of it. Bought a used car. My stepdad had at the time a 2011 Hyundai Sonata, which was really nice. And I saw one at the dealership. Like, oh my god, I want to get a car just like my stepdad. You know, I said that's gonna be that'd be cool. You know, they didn't have it. They had an Elantra. I was like, oh, same color, same DNA. You know, I wasn't so into cars as I am now. Like, ooh, let me get one of those. So I got it. It's a 2012 Hyundai Elantra. And actually, right before that, I had a motorcycle. Loved it. Rode that thing for a year. I didn't have a car. In the winter, I drove my stepdad's 1998 Chevy Blazer. I had a bike for a whole year that I rode. That's nuts. And then I bought the Elantra. So, after the Elantra, I had that car for, I want to say, a year and a half. As soon as my wife started looking for a car, because her lease was coming due, I started looking. I was like, oh, you know, let me look too. 14. So I believe I had the Hyundai Elantra for almost 2 years. For about 2 years. Almost 2 years. She was looking at a CX-5, a Toyota RAV4, Subaru Crosstrek, and a Jeep Patriot. We went to a Toyota dealership. She test drove the Toyota RAV4, and I saw the Scion TC. I was like, hey, that car looks pretty sick. And it was a 2014 or 15, whatever it was. And they were like, do you want to test drive? I was like, sure, you got a manual? I'll test drive a manual. They're like, yeah. Alright, so I test drove the manual. I really liked it. At the time, I wanted to lower my payments, just like everybody else. Payments were going to stay the same, so I was like, nah, I'm not interested. They gave my wife a number on a Toyota RAV4, and we just weren't interested. But I started really looking into the Scion TC, so I ended up buying the older body style, the 2010 Scion TC, manual, found one out there. Traded in my Hyundai Elantra. Well, it's just about $4,000 upside down on that car. Had to bury it into the Scion TC. It didn't have the most power or anything, but there's something about having a basic car that really can make driving enjoyable. Didn't have a backup camera, didn't have nav, it had satellite radio and a sunroof, but that's pretty much it. After my Scion TC, I had that car for a year and a half, and then I decided I wanted to keep up with the Joneses. I was working at a car dealership, and I saw that everyone was driving these luxury cars. I was working at a Buick GMC dealership, and that luxury car was a 2016 Buick Regal. Eventually, I picked up a Buick Regal. I was making a little more money, so I was like, I'll spend a little bit more on my car payment. Car payment jumped by $120 a month, something like that. Got the Buick Regal. That's car number 4. That's car number 4. After having the Regal for 2.5 years, I want to say, roughly 2.5 years, I started looking for another car because Isabel's lease was coming due on her Jeep Patriot. She took the Regal, and I picked up a 2015 Volkswagen Golf 1.8 liter turbo. I liked that car a lot. I didn't put that many miles on it. The car I put the most miles on was my first car, my second car. The Golf, I tuned it, I liked it. And then a little over a year later, I was working at a different car dealership, and the owner's son bought a 2016 Volkswagen Golf R at the auction. He's like, "Oh, Phil, this is for you. He's coming." I was like, "Oh, no, man, that's a manual. I'm out of manuals. I'm not interested." But he was just joking anyway. It was a car for the dealership to sell. And my biggest mistake was driving that car when it came in. Wow, the difference between a 1.8 liter turbocharged, tuned Golf, not a GTI, just a Golf. The difference between that and a 2-liter turbocharged Golf R with all-wheel drive. What a difference that was. And it took me about 4 days to decide, but I ended up buying it, man. And I had more fun with that car than any car before it. I've always, like, by the time I had my Elantra, I wanted like a sporty car, I wanted something fast, but I just couldn't afford it, And I got in a position where I could afford this thing, and I loved it. Oh man, I loved that car so much. In its stock form, it was quick, and when I tuned it, it was even quicker. And when I added even something simple as a pedal tuner to it, it was the throttle response was incredible, and the thing, it almost deleted turbo lag. God, I miss that car. Focus, Elantra, Scion, Regal, base Golf, Golf R, and now this. My whole thing with selling the Golf R was, one, it was manual transmission. That's one of the ways I convinced myself that I needed to get rid of it. The clutch was going, I don't want to say I abused the car. I didn't abuse it. The stock clutch in a Golf R is not great. It can't handle much more power than it already has. So the clutch started slipping. And hindsight being 2020, I truly wish I kept it. It's the only car I regret getting rid of. I truly wish I kept it. I could have just replaced the clutch, been done with it. The trans was acting a little weird too, but that could have been because of the clutch. I sold it. I traded it in. I needed a 4-door, I know that. And preferably a car that had a hatch. It didn't have to have a hatch, but preferably I needed to fit a stroller in it, I ended up looking at an Audi A5 Sportback, BMW 335 and 340, a 435 or 440, but this 4 Series had to be a Grand Coupe, which is a 4-door coupe. And I was looking at the DSG Golf R, couldn't afford it. Oh, I didn't think I could at least. I ended up strictly looking at a 4 Series BMW Grand Coupe. Had to be a 435 or a 440. So I found one. And I found one at a Far dealership. They told me when I got there they didn't have it. It's sold. And the reason I'm in the business, and when we'll tell a customer if the car's there or not. We'll say, listen, we have others like it. Do you still want to come in? You know, but I said, listen, I'm bringing my 7-month-old baby, 7 months old at the time, to come look at the car. You know? Oh yeah, it's still here. Long story short, almost hour and a half drive. They didn't have the car. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. It's not the salesperson's fault. It's whoever I was talking to on the other line. I'm just gonna walk away. So I walked away. Found another one, a 335 at a different dealership on the way back home, and they quoted me for like $5,000 less on trade than another dealer offered me. And I'm convinced it was because they thought I had a GTI and not a Golf R. So that ended up not happening. This is actually the car I preferred. And then lo and behold, I found a 435 Grand Coupe across the street from where I work. And that's the car I ended up with. Don't get me wrong, I like this car a lot. You know, this thing's stickered for $58,000 brand new. It's not your general 435, it is the sport line. And here is where we go to state that I miss my Golf R a lot. It's gonna be 5 months I've had this thing. And for those that constantly know I jump in and out of cars, yada, yada, yada. TID. I'm ready to get out of it already. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Cue the outro. Peace.
Going off-roading